Welcome back, I'm the Smithy D, and today we're back with another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. In today's episode we will be discussing the PvP tournament and my advice and view on this tournament and future installments of this type. So I entered this tournament with 85k of ally points and it was not enough to get me that gold, that Vader ship of the top 25. I placed my ship farming on hold for 2 days and used my galactic war tokens that I was receiving to get some more ally points so I could compete in this tournament. Things were going extremely well. I was sitting at this first day at second, then I moved down to 9, kept using my ally points and wisely after the refreshes with the right squads, the right synergies, making sure I'm getting the big bang for my buck. So I went to bed at 9th place, woke up this morning at 21st. I literally was like this. At this point, I've already invested most of my AP and 6 hours of my time doing these battles and probably about 1 million credits with all these mod swappings going on. But I wasn't giving up. I invested too much time, too much of my saved ally points into this tournament. So I soldiered on like an Imperial Stormtrooper and went for 19th. Literally in minutes, I dropped to number 30. I had no more ally points left in the bag. That was it. I was done. Good night, sweetheart. I was finished. Finishing 39 and not knowing that I'm going to get a full Vader ship is devastating. And I feel bad for anybody that went after Cheru Emwe, just like me, and wasted over 300k ally points to get a 3-star Cheru Emwe. So at the minute, like others, a lot of us have missed out on this tight advanced shard. I don't have enough to activate it. It's literally like...
Because I know, somewhere deep down in my heart, loosen up! I still love you.
So we've got that out of the way. Let's move forward and figure out ways that we can best our tournaments in the future. The direction I would be taking in the future is to probably skip a couple of tournaments until one meets my eye. I am currently farming a lot of ships like others from the Galactic War shipments. This currently leaves most at a disadvantage, and the reason why we're at a disadvantage is because we cannot afford to go and get those ally points and miss out on those starships. This leaves me at a place where I'm going to skip future PvP events, or when I say skip, I would be doing the bare minimum to get some rewards so I can save that AP for future PvP events where I'm going to have a better shot at top 25. My track record on the last 3 PvPs itself is literally, I've been finishing about top 40. I've yet to manage top 25. So this tells me straight away, I know I've got my squads, I know I can mix my squads around, but the biggest issue is I'm running out of AP very, very quickly. This may not always be the case. You could enter and it may not be as competitive, but the more chance that you've got of making top 25 is going to be higher if you've got more AP. There will also be a variance because it also depends on what the other guy's AP have got. If they've done exactly what you've done, then you're in for some competition there.
There's always a bigger fish.
But the bottom line is if I had another 100k AP, I would have spent it wisely throughout my squad and I would have made sure I would have hit top 25. The big question here is when to enter the tournament, and to be honest, I do not know. I've got 3 good shards by entering later, others have entered later and they've been at a huge disadvantage. The good thing about entering later or entering first, it all depends on who your opponents are and who's in your shard. If your top 100 is full of meta teams, then it's going to be very, very difficult for you to play catch up on grabbing them points. When I've started out, I've used a lot of low geared characters. So I used like IG-88 that I haven't fully geared as yet. He had no mods on him. I used Boba when I first entered because at that point he was gear 9. Now I've got him to gear 10. Second day I didn't use him in a weak team, but I grabbed some easy points, and the main thing is what you've got to look for is who you're facing and what they've got. Before I go into battle, I check the opponent's stats. I have a look how fast their characters, how strong their characters are, and would I win this hands down without losing any of my characters. I would normally keep refreshing and refreshing until I found an opponent that's suitable for my squad that I'm using at that current time. So the tips that you should be taking away from this is 1. Do you want to save your AP or not? Do you want to get those higher positions? It's not going to be guaranteed, but it may slightly favour your terms if you've got more AP than what the others have on your shard. Each shard in the PvP tournament is going to have different opponents, so you're not going to be matched up with identically the same shard next time, so there is no real way to tell who saved their AP or what they're actually doing. But I would definitely say it's good to consider skipping one tournament of trying to be competitive in favour of one that catches your eye. Currently, I'm not in a position to advise when you should enter your shard. This is completely up to yourself. What I've done, I've always gone in a little bit later and I've had good to okay shards, but not the best. We may already be pre-selected onto that shard, I don't know. I've entered at the same time, others have entered, and I have been on the same shard as them. On the flip side of the con of that, others have entered later and they've had a severe disadvantage where the top 100 has already formed and they're unable to play that catch-up game. When entering the tournament, you want to be focusing on using your less effective squads and trying and get those easy points from those easy opponents. To be the most effective, it is unfortunately about who has the most AP and who has the deeper roster. So my advice to you is to save some AP, make sure you're working towards a deeper roster so you've got multiple teams that you can use in this tournament so you can benefit of those low costing APs per battle. Make sure you're checking your opponent because that is very important. The worst thing that you could do is go into a battle blind and not know what speeds they've got and they completely wipe out two of your characters before you even get one turn. Make sure you're looking out for my next video. I will be focusing on Vader's TIE Advance. I have got some sweet footage at that of a 7-star TIE Advance with a Gear 11 Darth Vader. So I'm going to show you how that baby performs. But let me know in the comments below, what route are you going to take? Are you going to just go out with the AP that you've got? Are you going to put your ships on hold to get some more AP? Or are you going to progress your ships? What are you currently doing? Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, then make sure you drop a like on this video. And if you haven't already subscribed, then please do that right now. I'm the Smithy D. May the Force be with you always.